Okay, hello and welcome to Doctor Who Explained. Okay, how to easily begin with this? Doctor Who, the TV series that's been going on since 1963 and is still so far going on the telly. Okay, Doctor Who Explained. Okay. Okay, let's begin with the blue timeline that I like to call the classic Doctor Who timeline, the classic Whoniverse timeline. Even I'll come to the explanation of everything step by step. So you all know that the Doctor Who series has some mysteries in it, and I think I've cracked it. I think I cracked the secret code to it all, and with no further delay, I'll try to begin to explain this. Yes, the name of the doctor, yes. To begin, explain and show you how we know the name of the doctor if we follow the logical steps that the story has been following since 1963. And I'm gonna show you how in fact has been more than one main universe in the show, and how how I'm assuming you have seen the show, at least the new Doctor Who, in this video. And yes, with no further ado, the Big Bang, and I'm gonna have this in the middle of a timeline. There is a Big Bang, and this goes for each new universe that gets created. I'm actually having typed that the TARDIS blue is equals the classic universe, and I have the new universe that I could call it is this. Let's call it. I actually know the name of the new universe, but I'm gonna wait. Let's call it the red universe timeline for now. And there actually has been a previous to the um, previous lost alternative parallel universe before the classic universe, and there has been a previous universe before that, and a previous universe timeline before that, and on and on and on and on and on infinitum. And okay, let's zoom out here, and I'll try to have it all explained. Let's do it like that for now, and you'll see this is just a basic map, a basic map of this is the Big Bang moment from Big Bang Series 5 that then is connected to a point in the classic universe timeline where its doomsday was, and in in um, in effect the classic universe actually also came from a previous universe timeline, and I'll explain how we know this, because this point in time is the classic universe doomsday from the episode Doomsday that no one actually saw, but it's actually in that episode, and I'll try to come to that in a short while. So, new universe timeline, classic universe timeline, the one before the classic universe timeline, and the one before that, and before that, and so on. These 5 timelines are the ones we actually know something about. And again, I'll come to how we know this in a short while. First, I'm gonna try to establish how we know this with the different timelines. And I cracked this already back during Series 6. And when I finally got the last piece of the puzzle that I've been pondering on since Series 3, that I felt was it was somewhat different from Series 2 Whoniverse, and I couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was, but I began to wonder if they were in a different Whoniverse timeline when I watched the episode Utopia during Series 3, and I spent 3 years to try to figure it out, not full time, of course, but somewhere back to my head, I had some notion of it. This is not the same universe somehow. We didn't know how and when back then, but during Series 6, the final piece of the puzzle came in a minisode. And the minisode in question is named. Let's see if I can type here. Good night. Minisode. Where Amy, Paul Williams, let's call her Williams, as she's this is gonna be important. So, told us she could remember two lives at the same time. Okay. Well, she could remember two lives at the same time. The doctor then she had no period first. Why am I typing? Is it because I'm streaming or something? First and I'm not sitting. And then after rebooting the Whoniverse, she had a period and had always had a period, and this is really important to yes. So this is it's around let's call around 130, and 1 min forward. Okay, let's wink x wonk zoink us. Yes. So this was the last piece of the puzzle I've been looking for, and from this little bit of information I could deduce everything of Doctor Who, and then I really mean everything, not like one bit here, one bit there, and stuff like that. I actually could deduce everything, including whom the Doctor really is and whom he was born as. I know his real name, and I'm gonna tell it not too far into this episode. So first I'm gonna prove how this actually is proved. This is just I like to fumble about with time and space. I am an archaeological geographer by profession, so yeah, and that's all that you need to know about me. Forget me, this is not about me. And yes, this is my hobby, to think about stuff like this. And yes, so this is the K then. She had no period first, And then after rebooting the Whoniverse, she had a period and had always had a period. So, how do we know this? How do we know this? Theory to be correct. I haven't told you the theory, only the basics. Okay. So, okay. There are gonna be tons of clues been given to us throughout the show, and yeah, I'll try to keep this as I'm gonna think I'm gonna. No, I would better to make this one video everything. And yes, so okay, how? Yes, we have the new. I'm gonna zoom in here. Loink and loink. I want to zoom in on these two at the moment. So this is then June 26, 2010, and this point is also June 26, 2010. But if you draw a line here, I'm gonna draw a line straight down. Can I no picture? No, okay, I could make a line. Okay, zoink. How do I? Can I? Yeah, let's just do it like this then. You can see that this is a not straight down. 2010 equals here. So the classic Whoniverse timelines Doomsday is actually over there, but its Doomsday is there. So, but yeah, let's try to explain this in a better way. Okay, this is not actually as yes, easier if I type this down actually. So, you know how Gallifrey was transported away from the classic Whoniverse into the new Whoniverse, and I'm gonna show you how we know this. They are connected, and Gallifrey is now inside the new Whoniverse. And yes, this is the trickiest bit of them all to explain. How do we know this theory to be correct? Yes, Clara. In your knee into the this episode, like, was highly exposed to the time vortex and could later remember a abandoned timeline that never had been. Yes, and Madame Pompadour in Girl in the Fireplace also could remember time lines that she had never lived. Due to exposure to time windows, aka time vortex, due to a low exposure, low and long, okay, was shortly to the time vortex, and Madame Pompadour is the most closest ones. Okay, so precisely, and from the classic series there is an example of the same thing, and she's called Lady Penfort in Silver Nemesis 25th special. Could also remember a life in a timeline she had never lived with the doctor. After a short high exposure to the time vortex. So here we have 3 examples, and I'm gonna show you now how we know Amy also was this, and Amelia Bond, not same as Amy Pond. I'm gonna make a difference here. Amy Pond, no period, not same as Amy Pond. With a period. But both was for a long time exposed to a time vortex behind her wall. Both was for a long time exposed to a time vortex behind her wall. Low exposure equal both Amelia could remember each other's lives as memories. And this is really important. So here we have a basis for how do we know this, and there is more examples, like the widow in the wardrobe episode also could remember stuff like this because she had been exposed to a time window and could remember, yeah, whatever, that's not important. There are several more examples at least in the show. You can find them yourself, but I have pointed out 3 main ones in fall. So next I'm gonna point out 11th. Oh, no. In episode 11th hour. And the 11th hour is actually a really tricky episode because the TARDIS jumps between the universe timelines without us knowing. They're super clever, but there is a way to know this. Okay. First, we meet Amelia. Meet Amelia, and then we meet police Amy, just to keep them keep them separate. And what I'm saying here is these are 2 different persons, but they are the same person at the same time, but in different universes. And I'll try to explain how we know this, and I'm begun to explain it. And in end of the episode, we go back to Amelia, that then leaves, and here comes the really the showmakers have been so clever when they did this, and then leave a wedding dress on her door. Leaves behind for a, and here it comes, guys and girls, for a wedding with a man she had never met. Yes, Rory never existed in the classic universe timeline. uh, she she only remembered him as a memory from the other universe timeline. The Amelia, that is. Rory never existed in the classic universe timeline. So when the Doctor came and saved her the night before her wedding with a man she'd never met, this is hinted all out throughout the episode that Amelia is actually suffering from a split personality or something like that. She can remember stuff she isn't supposed to remember that had never existed. Like when police Amy remembers meeting the Raggedy Man before. She had never met him before. She only remembered a memory of the other Amelia, to to have met the Raggedy Man. And later, Amelia remembered police Amy meeting the Doctor through the memories, and each jump between Whoniverse is told to us as the TARDIS is late, because time doesn't run the same in each of these universes. They are running slightly ahead. The classic universe runs slightly behind the new universe. That's what I'm trying to depict with the cross line where the Big Bangs happen, because we know the date of the Big Bang in around in the new universe timeline, but we also can deduce. But I'll try to, if I remember, I'm gonna try to remember to explain how we know this about the classic universe, because its Big Bang date was around 2008-ish, and the universe before that. Okay, I'm in the wrong. And the universe before that had its Big Bang moment slightly before. You see, there is a Big Bang moment and there is a Doomsday moment not far from each other, but I'll try to explain that later. Return to 11th hour. Each jump between the horizons told to us as the TARDIS is late for the girl who waited, and I'm gonna highlight wedding dress. I'm gonna actually highlight the wedding dress here because this is really important. And then during series 5 we jump between the two Amy when we on screen get to see the engagement ring and equals the adventures with River Song mid-season 5 is a memory that Amelia remembers. Same with Rory, that never exists in the classic universe timeline. So back and forth during the entire series 5 until Pandorica. Oh wait. You can see flashes of her remembering. Yeah, there are several back and forth that during series 5. And Pandorica opens. Opens. And here we have the Doctor's enemies in the classic universe kidnap Amelia and from her memories extract people and stuff to defeat the Doctor with, including Rory. And then in Big Bang, when the moment of the Big Bang and the moment of the doomsday for the classic Whoniverse happens. An entire new Whoniverse is created by the TARDIS and the Doctor. No, yeah, TARDIS and the Doctor. Pandorica. Remember the square-shaped shape of the Pandorica? It's the same form that the TARDIS had in that episode with Clara, where the TARDIS shrank. It's the same thing, more or less. So let's there. Okay, and this is actually quite important. Keep in mind that the Doctor actually created the new universe. This will become important because this will explain Judy Whittaker's final fate. Because he's linked, yeah, to this story. Because it's been foreshadowed in the series 11 among. And we can deduce this because we know what's happened in the classic universe before, and from that we can then extract and know what's about to happen in the new universe timeline. This back and forth will actually make it able to us to tell the story of 5 universes in the end. But this is just the start. When the moment of the doomsday for the classic universe happens, an entire new universe is created by the Doctor and the Thanos, and this is the only fixed point in time for the new universe until it doomsday. Happens. And this is, you think of it not as a, yeah. By future events. Okay, so that means everything that happens before in the new universe. Why do I keep bit annoying? So that means everything that happens before the moment of the Big Bang as long it doesn't change, the moment of the Big Bang, everything that exists at that moment can be changed. Equals everything after this moment is totally free to change as long as it leads to the birth of the doctor in the previous Whoniverse. And here's the key. Everything after the new Big Bang can be changed as long as it leads to the birth of the Doctor in the previous universe. And how do we know this? Yes. Okay. No, I must try to not jump too far here. This could be a bit tricky to understand otherwise. Because all changes leads to the birth of the Doctor, but then protects the universe. So our Doctor, okay, let's see, we see the previous. Our Doctor only was the Doctor equals our Doctor only was the Doctor for the classic universe. Classic universe equals the new universe. What the frick? Has a new Doctor that was born in the classic universe. But I'm still jumping too far here. How do we know this? How do we know this? How do we know that everything, all changes leads to a new Doctor that was born in the previous universe? Yes. How to not jump too far here? This is a tricky one to explain. How do I know that? How do I know that? I need to go through my head here to find pieces of it. So I think the wedding dress, the wedding related stuff is marked by a wedding. being shown in the episode. Jump. Let's call it jump. It's not a jump, but it's over to the new Whoniverse is marked by a wedding shown in the episode. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna use the wedding ceremony. So how do we know this then? Okay, how can we? How do we not to reach the conclusion before? Let's. I'm gonna show you how we know this in a indirect way, but still a direct way. This is Doctor Who, so timey wimey. Let's make some. Let's make a break there to symbolize. Yeah. Boink. Okay. So, when have we seen weddings in Doctor Who? We have seen weddings before in Doctor Who. Before in Doctor Who. In and no. You. Oh, end of time. End of time part 2. When Donna Noble got married and we also saw it in episode Doomsday. Zoink. When Donna as a bride in the end of the episode. We also saw it in the episode right after. First episode of David Tennant. No, not first episode of David Tennant. It was the the one with the what's it called? Runaway Bride? Runaway Bride? Way Bride. So, how can I then connect this? We know from the you have to go into the episodes and actually confirm this stuff for yourself, but from the stuff in series 5 I'm now gonna show how we know. So in End of Time, Donna Noble got married and we get to see how the 10th Mark II has to see Rose Tyler one last time before regenerating. However, not in his universe as the doctor. This took me some time to deduce because there was some back and forth, and I suspect this is why the feeling I got back in episode Utopia that something wasn't correct, and that's because I'm gonna show you now how we know the Doctor actually traveled over to the new universe earlier than we thought. As the Doctor already here is within the new universe equal Rose Tyler never existed in this new universe. As she and her mother never existed. Not never existed, and didn't exist at the time of the doomsday of the classic universe timeline. That happened on June 26, 2010. As she and her mother had ended up in a different universe before that point in time. In the classic universe. Getting really annoying by that. Okay. In the classic universe. So, when the Big Bang in episode Big Bang happened, Rose and Jackie didn't exist in the classic universe, so they didn't get copied over into the new universe. So, I'm gonna show you later how we know the Doctor is in the new universe. And you have take this for like what it is right now. And yes, and the Doctor unknowingly had been traveling over into the new universe timeline without knowing it. But at the moment of the end of time, Gallifrey got sent back to where it came from. You know how the Gallifrey was coming through over to Earth in end of time from somewhere else. And this is important. And as okay, yes. So had to see Rose one last time equals he had to transverse through the void, go back over into the classic universe to see Rose one last time on January 1st, 2005, if I recall correctly, equals when the 11th shouts Geronimo. He's within the classic universe, and he then meets Amelia. Okay, yeah, you know that. So how do we know the Doctor really is within the new universe in End of Time equals all of series 4, Donna. And remember, we saw Donna already in the Christmas special in 2006, it must have been, right? And yes, so this took me several years to figure it out, as I didn't have enough information until the Goodnight, Minnesota. And so after much back and forth in my head, I can deduce that something must have happened in the Doomsday episode that made the Doctor go over into the new universe in this episode. As we know, as Raki and Rose was in the classic universe, that I could figure out, but I couldn't figure out where the break for where the new universe was, and it took me some time to deduce this. But during the scene where 10th says goodbye to Rose, he actually tells us that the classic universe is about to have its doomsday, and this is the real reason this episode has the name it has. Okay, during the scene where the 10 says goodbye to Rose, he actually tells us, the viewers, hidden in plain sight. And this is clever. This is super clever. This is super cleverly hidden, and you have to actually go and watch it for yourself and figure it out how. I'm gonna try to explain. I'm gonna explain where it is and how it's supposed to show us how the Doctor actually goes from the classic universe over to the new universe without him even realizing it. So, but the thing is, he at the same time he does realize it. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna tell you this now. His wording is paraphrased as he begins to talk with Rose. I am using a sun to. I'm burning up a sun. Burning up a sun to make this call. And this is the crucial bit. This is the crucial bit. The last crack in the Whoniverse is about to close. And this is actually... Am I missing something? Feels like I could be missing something. I'm gonna, yeah, it's connected. I'm gonna quickly 10 says goodbye to Roy. I must re-listen to it on the side here. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Okay. There is a tiny little there is one little tiny little gap. No, there's one tiny little gap in the Whoniverse. That is about to close. Yes. There's one tiny little gap in the Whoniverse that is about to close. This is the mark for the end of the classic Whoniverse. It's doomsday, and it then in end of the scene happen. Okay. And it closes and cuts off the call between them. And remember here that he is inside the TARDIS here. And the Whoniverse outside is as seen in Big Bang. Goes out of existence. Going out of existence outside the TARDIS. Equal he is, let's call it protected from blinking out of existence with the classic Whoniverse. And then the new Whoniverse takes the classic, takes the place, let's call it place, of the classic Whoniverse around the TARDIS equals he travels without travel into the new Whoniverse. And as this is the first time the TARDIS is within the new Whoniverse. Can I stop that? Donna Noble is drawn to the TARDIS like a magnet draws iron to it. Due to some radiation. Can't remember the name of the radiation, but it's told to us in episode Journey's End, right? Yeah, Journey's End. Due to some radiation. Has due to events taking place back in Journey's End. And this is a bit tricky to explain right now, but the episode Journey's End actually took place in between the Whoniverses, basically speaking. And yeah, okay, so there is something here that's not completely, but yes, let's not jump too far ahead. Just try to explain this bit here. There's one little tiny gap in the Whoniverse that is about to close, and this bit here is important, as it is seen before the Doomsday and the Big Bang happens. You know, the cracking time is like the new Whoniverse is pushing itself into the place where the classic Whoniverse were. So the classic Whoniverse is actually breaking. And this is actually seen in the opening credits. Yes, the opening credits. If you watch the you can watch the different opening credits from the 9th to the 12th. And most of them have the TARDIS traveling through the classic time vortex / line, and then jumping over to the new Whoniverse timeline. This is easily seen when one knows to look for it. Seen when one look for it. What the frick? Yeah, go and watch that, and you'll see how the TARDIS is actually jumping between Whoniverse timelines, and especially look at the 11th Doctor's opening credits for series 5 and 6. But for let's focus on 5. There's for series 5 to 7. It's 7A, right? 7A. Where the classic TARDIS blue timeline, let's say timeline, this, you know what I mean, is cracking, disintegrating, lightning. Yeah, you can see this. You can see how the is disintegrating in the opening credits. Everything is actually, once you get to begin to see where this is heading, you can actually follow where everything is going. And I'm just gonna double check that the recording is still recording, so there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Okay. So you can actually see the TARDIS jumping between the different Whoniverse timelines, and this then actually happens already back in Doomsday. And yes, I need to explain more about the wording up here. This is really tricky. This is the tricky little bit. Yes. I need to explain. This is, yes. We are actually talking about, let's zoom in here. We are talking about this point in time. Let's say he sees it here. The last crack is about to close. Here it close. Crack. Then the timeline is fixed, so to say. Nothing can change forever. And it creates the new Whoniverse timeline somehow with the Pandorica and the TARDIS exploding. So the last crack, he sees it happens here in this point. At this point in time, the TARDIS explodes as River Songs is on it. So here he sees it before. Okay. Let's say so he sees it before. How should I put this? As he sees it closing, it is in fact expanding from a point in the future backwards in time equal it is seen as closing. This is nuts, but this makes sense when you throw around the balls in your head. This actually tells us about the Big Bang happening. The last crack in the last little gap in the universe about close equals it's actually expanding from a point in time in the future backwards in time equal it's seen as a shrinking. So he actually describes the Big Bang happening. This is nuts, but he actually in this way that it's seen as closing equals this is let's call it an expansion yeah, so it actually breaks the classical universe and replaces it. It's super nutty, but already in the end of series 2 he actually describes for us the viewers what is happening in the end of series 5 equals this was super tricky. This took me the information is there in the show, but you really know how where to look for it. And as said, it didn't take me until series 6 when this little bit of nuggets. She had no period first, and then rebooting the Whoniverse, and then she had a period. She's always had a period. So she could remember. Okay, so through this you can actually deduce that the end of the classic universe happened in the episode Doomsday. And I hope I've actually explained this in a way that makes it understandable. So when we know this, we can then begin to deduce other things. And as said, once you know this, you can begin to see the signs all over the show, amongst in the opening credits. It's been hidden right in front of you every single time you've been watching the show. The showmakers have been so super clever. And they have actually not been you could think they've planned this from now these days, but it's actually been prepared for a very 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 long time, much longer than one could think. They're so clever. There's someone that has been super super clever, and once we know this, so I hope you could begin to see what I see from here, because yeah, I think I have to I have to I think I have to break this up, otherwise this will take a 24-hour stream. This is my first recording, and yeah. Okay. We've reached here after more than an hour, so I think I'll call it here and break this up. But okay, is there something else here? Let's go through it all a bit faster, a recap, so to speak. Okay, so in Minnesota Goodnight, we got told that she could remember 2 lives at the same time. She first had no period, and then had, after rebooting the universe, she's always had a period. And how do we know this theory I've been presenting here is correct? And then we go through the 3 examples with Clara, Pompadour, and Penfort. That also could remember different universes. And Amelia Pond, no period, is not the same as, and yet the same as Amy Pond Williams with a period, but both was for a long time exposed to a time vortex behind her wall. Through low exposure to the time vortex, equals both Amy and Amelia could remember each other's lives as memories. In episode 11th Hour, we meet Amelia, and then we meet Police Amy. In end of episode, we go back to Amelia, that then leaves behind a wedding dress on her door for a wedding with a man she's never met. And remember, there are signs all over the series 5 to 7A that Amelia is actually 2 persons. And in fact, in one episode, they clearly states she is 2 persons, but not the same as these 2 persons. But there are signs all over the place once you know what to look for. So each jump between the Whoniverse in series 2 to end of 5 is actually told to us through them showing in the show something wedding related, equals in Doomsday. The bride, Donna is shown as a bride. Then in End of Time Part 2, she's seen as a bride again. And in 11th Hour, we get to see the wedding dress as a sign there is a jump between the Whoniverse. In fact, 2 in this episode. And then in Series 5, there is the engagement ring that symbolizes there is some kind of jump / memory throughout the series at these points in these episodes, points in time. And in I haven't talked about the ledger, but the lodger, that's the last time before yeah, whatever, let's forget that, skip that. Yeah, that will be another video about the time machine there. So there is something wedding related every single time the TARDIS jumps between the Whoniverses back and forth. So that's a huge tell that there is something to this theory. And then and here's the biggie. The Doctor's enemies in the classic Whoniverse kidnap Amy, and from her memories they extract people and stuff to defeat the Doctor with, including Rory, so he then exists at the moment of the Big Bang. Equals he gets copied over and brought into life that way. And and yes, the only fixed point in time is the moment of the Big Bang. The rest are changeable. I haven't explained how we reach the name of the Doctor and whom he is in this episode, but I'll leave that to the next one. I'm gonna need to make sure it's you can follow from that single bit of information how to ultimately explain everything in Doctor Who. And from this bit of information, so yes, yeah, let's skip that for now. You got the basic notion of how the Whoniverse thing works here. Yes. He goes to see Rose Tyler, and we end up in the episode 11th Hour. I've explained how we can pinpoint in Doomsday how the Big Bang is hidden in the Doomsday episode, as the classic Whoniverse happened in there. And I might need to point out that we know that the Doomsday of the classic Whoniverse happens sometime after some month after the summer of the previous year. They talk about some month having passed. So say something like 10, 11, 12. 10, 11 month has passed. It's not true. But the events in Doomsday are happening in either the summer of 2008 or 9. This is told through some... it's most likely 2009 as the Doomsday... the moment of the Doomsday is June 26, 2010, and they speak about during the 10 Says Goodbye to Rose scene. They speak about it has gone some time through that, and this pinpoints the time to around somewhere around 2010 or 9, most likely 10. They are a bit vague, so you can't pinpoint it exactly to June 26, 2010. But the coincidence, yeah, I'm gonna show you more examples later. But the coincidence is way too big to just be a coincidence. There are way too many. We talk about, you can pinpoint with something wedding related to them actually jumping between Whoniverses during this time in the show. So yeah, it's too big of a coincidence, too many times. And there is actually several other jumps between Whoniverses in the show, hidden, like in Listen series 8, I think it was, and in series 2's Man of Steel, right? Rise of the Cybermen, right? Yeah, there's a jump between there is a jump between these Whoniverses in the yeah, but more in that we have been talking about jumps between these two Whoniverses. I'm next gonna talk about jumps between these two Whoniverses. That the classic Whoniverse actually comes from the previous lost alternate Whoniverse timeline. The classic Whoniverse around 2008 was copied into existence from the previous lost alternate Whoniverse timeline where the Cybermen originated. And yeah, I'll take that in the next episode. So thank you for watching and all that. And remember, watch the opening credits. It's all hidden right there in the opening credits. And for now, that is what I wanted to tell you. And I'll be posting more videos about this. Yeah. Keep, I don't know, you can sub and something like that on Brighteon, right? This is a video solely for Brighteon. So, thank you for watching all that. Remember to sub so you can continue in my talk, but it makes sense in the end, weirdly enough. Yeah, that's me signing out. Thank you for watching. Where's the off button? Oink. Crazy dude. Yeah.